we do really need to talk about weight loss, don't we? I think that's what we're here for after all.
Mm.
So just tell us a bit more about your business, Anthony. So what do you do as a
So,
weight loss coach?
Ogogo Fitness Elite Coach. I have two. Ogogo Fitness is the umbrella. The coaching business is where I spend most of my time. I've got an app, a fitness app, Ogogo Fitness, which is great. Little at home workout app, 7 minutes, really easy, introductory. But my coaching business is where I really work with men, helping them lose weight, teaching them all my 25 years of elite level experience. Because as I said to you before, I had to do things when I was 12 years old, and most people haven't got to do. Lose half a stone in a week, and then go and fight, and then knock somebody out. The other thing about weight loss, difference between Joe Wicks and me, for example, and I don't discredit Joe at all. He's a top guy. He's never had to perform before, right? And I'm just saying him. He can beat anybody, but most people haven't got to perform, right? And like, I've had to perform at the highest level, Olympics, World Championships, professional boxer, all around the world. And we all have to perform. Like, Mark, you've got to perform. At the end of the day, it's late at home in the UK, kids are asleep. You've got to come on in and talk to me for an hour and a bit. So you've got to perform. We all have to perform with this, roles as fathers, parents, husbands, whatever it may be, right? At work, we have to perform. That's the thing. Losing weight, when you know how to do it, like I do, it's actually quite easy. Actually quite fun. It can be quite enjoyable. I told you earlier, Don is eating more food than he wants to eat, and he's still losing weight. When you do it properly, it's quite an enjoyable experience. But you can't lose weight and be grouchy and be hungry and pissed off because you're not performing for anybody. So it's about strike that balance of losing weight, being fit, being healthy, doing it in an enjoyable way. Losing weight. Another thing with weight loss is, with all the guys that I work with, they want to see it. They want to see weight loss. They don't want to. Most of the time, people in boxing, we have 12 weeks, lose 8 kilograms, stone and a half, whatever it may be. The fight's going to happen. So you got to lose the weight. So you can't mess around with it. So we have to and I use that. Although we did very different protocols, very different training. Nobody does any boxing training, but a couple of boxers, but no, this boxing training isn't part of the program. It's the principles, it's the structure, it's the standard. It's the standard I've developed. That's really what I've developed, the standard. People have to lose weight quick enough to see the results, so they carry on, so they buy into my philosophy. And if you lose, 2 kilograms, in a week, 4.5 pounds, that's amazing in a week, right? You lost, I'll go on one of my guys lost 22 pounds in a month, right? Don't you worry, he had a bit of weight to lose. But he's also struggled to lose 22 pounds for a long, long time. We've lost it in a month. So anything I say now, he's bought in. He's bought in. His weight is down. His energy's up. He feels fantastic. He feels amazing. Like, he's now a disciple of mine. So if I say to him, go put your head in the fire, I would never do that. If I did that, he'd go, cool, yeah, 100%. There must be a reason for it, So it's, yeah, I really enjoy it. But like I said, it's never really about losing the weight. It's about improving one's confidence. In my experience, there's 3 reasons people lose weight. One, for health. Guys come to me, a health thing. I'd have been told, pre-diabetic or heart disease, whatever it may be. I got a guy joined my program yesterday. He had a couple of ultrasounds on his liver, and he got a bit scared. So I thought, I want to lose a little bit of weight. So it could be anything. So there's a health reason. Number 2 is a confidence thing. They lack confidence. And number 3, appearance. Confidence, they kind of go hand in hand with each other, but they want to look good for a certain thing. They want to look good, so they want to feel good to improve their confidence. They're the 3 reasons, really. Again, it's never really about the way. It's about, if I can help somebody become more confident in themselves and look better, feel better, and recent study in the British Medical Journal, 11 years, you can add on 11 years to your life by being in shape, by being fit, being happy, 11 years. And it's not just 11 years. It's not just, being old at 80 or old 91. It's being fit and healthy at 91. Being able to do stuff, right? Being able to live late into your years. Because what's the point of living if you're stuck in a chair like my granddad was the last 5 years of his life? You want to be out, living life, doing stuff, and going on a cruise, spending the money you worked hard before the government taxes the ass off you, So that's what life's all about. So it's whenever I work with guys, we do 2 things. So if you had to work with me, Mark, what I'd do with you, I'd improve Mark today. Like, today's mark is, next week's mark's going to be better than this week's mark, and each week we get better. I'm improving today's mark. I'm also improving Mark in 30 years' time. So when you're, 30 years older, you can go, that boxer I worked with once, I really thank him now because I can go for it. Caden's got kids, right? Caden's now what, 30, mid 30s, and he's got a couple of kids, and you can run around with your grandkids. That's what it's all about. And it's hard to
Mm.
see that when you're in your 30s, 40s yourself. But as we know, mate, the Olympic Games 2012 is now what, 2020? It's 14 years ago. My last fight was 10 years ago. I've blinked and time is gone. We
Yeah.
blink and life flies forward. So in a couple of things time, we're all going to be 25, 30 years older. You don't take care of ourselves, you're feeling 40, 50 years older. So like, take care of yourself, you'll be 25 years older, feeling only 8 years older. And that's what it's all about, right? Whilst feeling good about yourself, whilst eating food, whilst getting strong, whilst, living the life you want to live. Spoke to a guy earlier, yesterday. Because I feel Eric, I feel amazing. I feel really, really good. Mate, do you know what you're doing? He hasn't, he's hurt his wrist, hasn't been to the gym in 10 days, hurt his wrist. His weight has still come down. And I can't believe it. I earn 3 meals a day. I'm not working out. Weight's coming down. What the heck? I go, buddy, we've turned your metabolism on. We've got it going. We've reignited it, mate. This is, I said, you walk in, you go into work, you're like, and I feel good. My wife, I swear on my life, I'm lying, God can strike me down right now. He said to me, he went downstairs the other day, he's got a wife and kid, 8-year-old daughter, came down in his shorts. His wife went, I'm Eric, oh my God. Like, and he was like, it's weird. I've been married to my wife for like 12 years, and she looked at me the other day like she hadn't seen me in 10 years. Like, Derek, you look really good. He went, how good it made me feel after being
Yeah.
married for 10 years. I think, buddy, that's what we're talking about. And this is, you can see how much I love this. It's like, this is what it's all about. He said, never thought she was going to look at him like that ever again. Those days are long gone, he thought. I said, we're living now. You're now living in a way that you're meant to live, eating proper food, not processed crap, drinking plenty of water, not sugary energy drinks that give you a spike when you crash, not living on coffee till 7 p.m. in the afternoon, in the evening. Like, you're now living like humans are supposed to live, and that's why you feel good. So many people feel shit. They walk, and that's become their normal. And then and the scariest. So people thought, let me finish that thought. People people feel shit, and that's become their normal, and they've forgotten what like to feel good. And I talk to people. They said, when you look in the mirror, like, give me a number of what you see, like how energy wise, like how happy are you with your body? 4, 3, 2, 5. I was like, that's not normal. You live. This is your home. This is the one house you have for the rest of your life. You live in it, and you don't like it. Like, if you didn't like your house, the same person who's going to spend 20 grand on a new kitchen, didn't like your kitchen. Go and spend a little bit of money on yourself to improve yourself, the one vehicle you have for the rest of your life. What the hell? It baffles me. Really, honestly, people just, the scary thing, there's three types of men in this industry, in what I see. And I don't even see the top version. Top version, people like myself, really happy with the way I look and the way I feel, right? And like yourself, Mark, you've done a lot of work in yourself, and you're proud of who you are, right? Great. I look good, I feel good, I'm healthy, I'm fit, perfect, right? Those guys don't need coaching programs. Then you got two people. People that are like at the lowest ebb, the bottom of the barrel. Maybe they've been divorced, maybe they had something, a setback, pre-diabetes or heart, whatever it may be, or a diagnosis. Those people are great people to work with because they're at the bottom of the barrel, they've got no choice but to climb up. They're great clients, right? The people that are the most concerning are the ones that, they should lose a little bit of weight, and I could drop a little bit, but, I'm not diabetic, or, I'm not going to die tomorrow. I'm not going to keel over. Like, I'm not great, but it's like, yeah, I'm not as bad as him. So they're not living their best life, but they're not quite bad enough to take action. It's those guys, I tell them all the time, it's those guys I talk to on calls all day long. It's you're who I'm concerned about, because 15 years can go by, right? Where you're not living your best life. It's not, not bad enough to take action. And then 15 years go by and you think,
Mm.
what the hell's happened? When did this
Yeah.
happen? And that's the scary bit. They're the scary ones. So if you're watching this thinking that's you, then reach out or do something about it.
They call that the beta paradox, don't they? Is that the saying? It
So I haven't.
it's when you're in a situation where, um, you say you're in a shit job, but the money's all right, it's got some good benefits, and it's not enough to make you leave, rather than if you're in a job where it's toxic and like I said, if shit pay and everything was bad, you'd be more um, motivated to move out of that position. Maybe in a relationship's probably a better way to, like, you're in a toxic relationship, you've got an abusive partner, you'd be propelled to move out of that. Whereas if you're in a relationship, well, you're the right company, but you're not that connected, you're not that close, but you're not abusive. So people just stick up and put up with it, don't they?
Yeah, yeah.
And that's kind of what that is. And I think I get that. And yeah, I hear that entirely. Sometimes you do need almost a crisis moment to kind of really sort of push you into action, I guess,
Well, no,
don't
well,
you?
you don't know. I don't think you do, Mark. You don't need it. Like, if you, I don't, I know what you're saying, right? That shouldn't be the way, though. That shouldn't be. You shouldn't need that. You shouldn't need the doctor going, "Oh, you've got really high blood pressure. You better, lose some weight, or you're gonna die." You shouldn't need that, right? No, you shouldn't need, watching your friend die at 50 and go, "Fuck me, that could be me." You shouldn't need that. It should be a case where it's like, go back to the house or the car analogy. Look yourself in the mirror. Do you like the vehicle you're in? No? Okay, do something about it. Are you happy? Are you constantly adjusting your t-shirt? Are you, no, being the one to offer to take pictures rather than being in the picture because you don't like the way you look? Are you in pictures and the next time on Facebook you go, oh, delete, no, untag, don't like the way you look? If that's you, you're hiding your way through life. And we get one shot at this. We get one, right? A little random story, which I could have said earlier. I had 9 surgeries on my eye. I had 5 in America. My 5th one in America. My 3rd one in America. My heart stopped on an operating table. My heart, I died. I died on an operating table. They had to quote unquote bring me back to life. Paddles, shock me back to life. Right. I was dead for like up to a minute. They said. Right. The reports up to a minute. In that minute, nothing. I had no idea. Blackness, just black. Nothing. Nothing happened. Right. And I was literally dead on the table. They did bring it back. So who knows what happens thereafter? Who knows? Some people are religious, some people, who knows? In my experience, there's just blackness. That's my experience, right? And I mean this seriously, I wholeheartedly would rather spend as much time here with my missus, my baby, my family, than blackness and do anything I possibly can to elongate that. And it's not even just about living if you're not enjoying your life, but creating life that you actually really enjoy, in a body that you want to live in. And those same people that won't spend any money on themselves to be coaching to learn how to lose weight, get in shape and stay in shape for the rest of your life, learn healthy habits that are going to improve your life, your well-being, your quality of life. They're the same people that will go and buy a new car, or spend $1,000 on an iPhone, or go and put in a new kitchen, or have takeaways every single week, or go to the pub and have beers all the time. It's like, hang on, like, you're already investing, and I say this every single day to certain people. Now, to welcome me is going to be X. And one of my plans, different plans, high points, low point, all going to be X. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So, I'll tell you what. Let me think about it. That means I've got no arsehole and I don't want to move forward with it. I go, no, no, no. When you work with me, I start every single call the same. Hey, if you're here, you want to lose weight. Yeah, cool. So I've got a rule. Now, give my tips away. Now, we haven't got to work with each other. That's totally fine. I've got a bunch of clients. I don't need clients. I'm a professional wrestler. I make good money doing that. I've got a bunch of clients I like working with. I don't need to work with you. I want to work with success stories. So my rule is this. Do you want to lose weight? Yeah. Awesome. Perfect. Right? If at the end of this call, you listen to me and you believe in my process, you believe in my program and you want to lose weight, I want a hell yeah, let's do it. I'm in. Or it's a hell no. I don't do the old, need to think about it. So you need to think about getting the best shape of your life, and it's guaranteed I get the result of you, or you don't pay, which is one of my guarantees. You get the results, or I give you your money back. Then you can't want to do it that much, right? So I don't do I think. So if you want to think, and that's yeah, let me think. I said, well, you've just now told me you're spending, on takeaways, on McDonald's, on beers with the boys. You're spending 400 quid a month on crap, right? And I'm sure there's a Greg's in there you've forgotten. I'm sure there's a high calorie Starbucks drink in there you've forgotten. I'm sure it's more than that. You're already investing in your health in a negative way, right? Working with me is less than that. Where you're spending more already to stay stuck. You can spend less, get in the best shape of your life, guaranteed, and have money left over and feel good and like who you see in the mirror and your wife look at you and go, "Car," and your kids look up to you and go, "Car, Dad, you're Superman," and you set lessons for the whole family. Like to me, it's a
Yeah.
no-brainer. And most go, "No, you're right, I'm in." And some go, I don't know. And those ones I'll look at in Facebook or Instagram in a year's time and they've put more weight on and they're in worse shape. And I go, you had the opportunity and you chose to piss it away. Yes, mate. It's that's the most frustrating thing about what I do now is like I know I can help people, and sometimes they don't. And I guess it's like a lack of belief because they've tried in the past, and what if it fails? And I often say, yeah, you have tried in the past, you have failed, you haven't worked with me in the past, you haven't done what I've done, and to make you realize that this is guaranteed. If you do not get the results, as long as you do the work, as long as you listen to us more than you don't, 75% compliance, I don't ask for 100% because being perfect doesn't exist. It's not a real thing. But as long as you do it more than you don't do it, as long as you give it a go and communicate, I guarantee success. If not, I'll give you your money back. Right. And if they, and it's like, oh, it's just frustrating knowing I can help people. But some people can't be helped. You can lead a horse to water. So they say.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so that's what I do, mate. And I really enjoy it, and it's really fun. And as you can tell from my energy, my passion when I talk about it, you know, don't get too deep with it, but like a large part of my life is all from me. I ended up getting divorced because of, it was all from me, like me, my life. And boxing, like the whole idea of boxing, you hurt people, you literally hurt people. Like for the first time, and even wrestling's fun, and we tell stories, and people really get emotional about the stuff. And being a bad guy, I can be an arsehole, I can be a dick as a bad guy, and it's fun, right? And yes, I entertain people, but I normally win. So normally when I win, the fans are going boo and they're in a bad mood. So that's the whole point of being a bad guy, right? But it's the coaches. I'm finally like giving back to the world and doing good for the world and helping people, and that's what I really like. I'm giving people, you know, 25 years of elite level experience that I attained, and there are a lot of coaches out there that read books and did a BTEC or an online course. I've got all the qualifications, but I've also got the real life experiences at the highest level, which other coaches couldn't even dream of understanding. Having to lose, 10 kilograms in 4 days to box in Czech Republic and then win a gold medal over there and still perform at the highest level. People can't relate to that. Nobody can relate to that. It's like,
Yeah.
but I did it, and I did it and had to find a way to do it because that's what you do in boxing. So yeah, it's enjoyable career path for me for the time being.
Awesome. So just some quick sort of tidbits, so to speak. So nutrition. So what are the basics that you'd advise for clients?
That's really hard, mate, because I that's really hard to say because and I'm reluctant saying too much stuff on social media because ultimately for the exact same reason I've given a guy a certain amount of protein. He said to me, "Why am I having this much?" On the call yesterday, Andy K, "Why are you having this?" Because so and so, some muscle builder that he only has this. I said, "Buddy, this is social media. It's not real. There's a reason why the people like please don't like watch stuff and it's IG. It's not real. Do you think your next door neighbor is really as happy as they say they are on Instagram? Come on, buddy. Oh, yeah, I suppose so. What I would say is every man in the Western world is probably low on protein. So eat protein. Having 2 eggs a day is not high protein. It's 12 grams of protein. There's not a lot of protein in there. So like you should be really focusing on protein every single meal. If you can't get in for your food, we should always try to get in for your food and supplements. So some people take supplements and like they think having, a fish oil once a day can undo lots of bad nutrition. That's not how it works. My old boxing coach, and I always relate things to boxing. My old boxing coach used to say to me, do the basics well and then excel. Round one, round two, good jabs, good backhand, good left hooks. Do the basics well. Then round three, round four, let the shots go and be a bit more fancy. Same thing in nutrition. Do the basics. Drink your water. Be hydrated. Eat protein. That's the best thing to do. How much it depends on. I'm not going to give away because it's ultimately just because I don't want to say a number here and so and so goes and does it, and it's like, oh, he told me that. Ultimately, that's what it goes in. But more protein, and more hydration, and you can't go wrong.
Yeah. And what's more important, would you say, cardio or resistance?
For what? For what? I'll give you the.
Regardless,
Pardon?
want to get rid of the belly, and it's a
Okay.
case of, oh,
So I'll give you
some people tell me get out and start running. Other people would say you need to do more resistance training. What would be your take?
to get rid of the belly.
Yes, the belly would be the
Neither.
okay.
Right. So let me tell you. Let me tell you my secret. So let's break things into three because it's three. Everyone can remember. Even me, and I was boxed for 18 years. I can remember three things. Right. 4 or 5 things I might start forgetting the things at the beginning, but I can remember three things. Right. So let's break things into three. Want to lose the belly? Nutrition alone will take care of that belly. So the nutrition alone will enable you to lose the weight. The nutrition alone. Don't do cardio to lose weight. Don't go to a gym resistance to lose weight. That's not why you should do it. I'm going to give you something now. If you understand this, you'll be ahead of most people on the planet. If you want to lose weight, the nutrition will help you lose weight. Okay. You should go to the gym or work out from home, wherever it may be. I say go to the gym, but going to the gym when I say it means resistance training, right? It could be dumbbells, it could be whatever it may be. It could be push-ups and sit-ups, right? Resistance training. Nutrition takes care of the weight. Resistance training, the gym work, right? That gets you strong. You should go to the gym to get strong. Don't go to the gym to lose weight. Go to the gym to get strong. Why do you want to get strong? Because the stronger you are, as we said earlier, the stronger you are, the longer you're going to live. The stronger you are, the better quality of life you're going to live. The stronger you are, generally, the more muscle you have. The more muscle you have, the more calories you burn. Right? So, going to the gym by virtue of getting strong, you're going to burn more calories, therefore lose weight, right? But that's not the goal going to the gym. That's not the purpose, the intention. Now, cardio. Now, why should one do cardio? There are two reasons in my head that I think of right now why one should do cardio, right? And I agree, you should do cardio. One, because you enjoy it, be it a walk, a brisk walk, a jog, a bike ride, a cross trainer, swim, rowing, whatever it may be. Do cardio because you enjoy it. And the second reason, to improve your heart and lung capacity, your cardiovascular system. But don't do cardio to lose weight. Now, obviously, being a calorie deficit, lifting, building muscle, and doing cardio, of course, they're going to aid your weight loss, but don't do it to lose weight. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Nutrition alone will bring the weight down. You go to the gym to get strong to live a long time, get strong to burn more, to increase your metabolic rate. Cardio, because you enjoy doing cardio, is good for one's mental health. A lot of men, we should go out and walk, we go on bike ride, go out and jog for our mental health as much as anything. And then you do cardio to improve your heart and lungs. Why? That's keeping you alive. It's literally the engine that keeps you alive. If you nail those three things, you'll be in the top 1% of all men in the country. I've got a bunch of guys that do 3 45-minute workouts at home, lost 12 pounds in 3 weeks, right? Like that's 1.2%. And 3 45-minute workouts a week is 1.2% of one's entire week, right? It's not hard. What people lack is structure, routine. People need to get motivated. Okay, cool. Well, what's your motivation? If you've got kids, look at your kids. That's the only motivation you need. If you need more
Mhm.
motivation, you have kids, then you need help, right? Because that's do you want to be in the ground when they're 25? Do you want to see their grandkids growing up? Do you want them to? Any son looks at their dad and go, "That's their idea of what a man is from their dad."
Mm,
Do you want your son? I'm sure, Mike, you don't want your three sons looking at you going, "Oh," and you're not saying you are. If you were, 5 stone heavier, 6 stones heavier, and would you want your sons, and you didn't like the way you look, and you got out of breath, and you felt shit a lot of the time, would you want your sons to be like that in 30 years' time? Of course not,
mm,
right? So set the example. Be the man. Be the version you want to see in the world. It's just very structured and simple, right? Or
yeah.
don't, but don't complain about it. Don't complain about it. Don't come on a call with me and waste my time saying you want to do it and you don't want to do it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, and either way is fine. Either way is fine. And listen, like something I tell my guys all the time: hard, right? Hard. It's hard being out of shape. It's hard being overweight. It's hard putting your socks on, your belly's in the way. It's hard. It's hard being lethargic and tired and brain fog and grouchy and snappy. It's hard. It's
Yeah.
also hard losing weight. No, being structured, being routine. It's not as hard as people
I
think when you
think
know
that
what to do, but it
someone
can be hard,
before,
right? Hmm?
yeah, someone said before, it's like pick your hard.
Choose your hard, mate. Choose your hard.
Yeah.
It's
being
easy.
overweight is hard, but losing
But
weight and getting is hard.
that's the
I'm
thing.
gonna
It's
bring it
actually
up.
not. That's actually when you know what to do and how to do it. It's not as hard. I told you earlier, Don, my
Yeah,
guy, he's forcing this. He doesn't want to eat ice cream. Who doesn't want to eat ice cream? Like people want to eat ice cream. He does not want to eat ice cream. Like, it's a homemade chocolate moussey ice cream that he's made with berries in it. It's actually delicious. Who doesn't want that? He doesn't want it because he's already full. He's forcing it down whilst losing 10 pounds in a month, looking fantastic, arms ripped up, like getting abs for the first time in his life. So yeah, choose your hard, man. Like it's gonna happen anyway. Life's gonna go by anyway. You're gonna go by out of shape, or it's gonna go by in shape. Choose your choice. And it's your life. And you get one of
yeah.
them. So make the most of it.
Oh, too right, too right. Just one point I'm gonna bring up because you mentioned it, and it's one of the things that struck a chord with me when I decided I need to lose the weight because I was 4.5 stone heavier than what I am now. And I was at the park with the kids, and Blake, my eldest, is there, and he's like, "That's my dad over there. He's really lazy." I was like,
Mate,
and,
kids
yeah,
see everything.
yeah,
And they don't, there's no filter. They
no
say
filter.
kids see, and kids don't do as you say. As you know, Mark, we both got kids. Kids don't do as you say; they do as you do. So
Yeah,
how the hell can you say, "Oi, no, whoever your child is, stop eating chocolate," and you're there
yeah,
with chocolate in your mouth, and you got back of Maltesers and miniatures by your feet? Come on,
yeah.
kids do as you do, and yeah, that must do. But I'm glad, like you did something about it, right? And 4.5
Mm.
stone, mate, on your own, and I mean this in the nicest possible way, without really knowing what to do. Because you asked me, what's better, weight or cardio, or just, I gave you the answer, which
Mm.
if you knew what to do, you'd know that. Like without knowing what you've done 4.5 stone yourself, which is fantastic, mate. And I'm sure you feel better for it, right?
Gotcha. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And it was, like I said, when it was coming off, it was like, well, the great thing about my job was I see clients probably every 8 weeks. And so between one meeting and the next, it's like, wow, look at you, Mark. And having
Yeah.
that sort of 2, 3 times a day was quite good, you know.
It's a nice
But
feeling, isn't it? And imagine your wife seeing you downstairs going, "See hell," right? Imagine that. I told you Eric earlier.
yeah,
The feeling, right? It's a nice feeling, and it makes you feel good. And this is the last thing I say about the weight loss, right? So what I do with my guys. Let me ask you. Let's do a live version, Mark, and ask honestly. So answer honestly, sorry. So 4.5 stone ago, right? When you looked in the mirror and your eldest called you lazy, that period of you, what did you see?
well, that's a weird one. You know, I'd say looking in the mirror is different to looking at photos. Looking at photos, I was embarrassed and ashamed. If I looked in the mirror, it didn't quite seem the same. It didn't look as bad. Does that make sense? But
You get
certainly,
a bit of detachment, right?
yeah,
But okay,
the
so
photo, it was family photos. There's a family photo in my mum's hallway of the whole family. I felt like I took up 2/3 of the photo.
embarrassed, right? So give me embarrassed. Give me scale of 1 to 10. When were you at your absolute best? When you've been? Have you ever been a 10 out of 10? 10 out of 10, most best, most confident version of yourself, body wise, physique wise, looks wise.
Yeah, I'd probably say that was around 2010. So how old was I then?
So 16 years ago.
24, I think I was. 26. I was
Yeah.
26.
Okay.
That was
Perfect,
me with
right?
Slit List, and there's photos of me on holiday, and I'm like, yeah.
You've got that. Awesome. You've got a version in your head. And are you a 10 there?
For me, yes, I'm a 10 there.
Okay. For you. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Sweet. You say you a 10. What's your 10 out of 10? When you think of a man who's 10 out of 10, what is the pinnacle?
So it probably would be someone that's ripped, like got the abs. There's not much belly fat there. Yeah, that would be the
So
pinnacle
what?
per se.
So say Brad Pitt and Fight Club,
Yeah,
right? So weirdo went straight there. So if he was a 10 out of 10, what were you back in 2010? What were you in comparison to that?
nowhere near that. Really. Let's be honest. Probably, yeah, halfway there. But like I said, that's what I mean. For me, that was the best version of me
Awesome, and
in
that's
my
amazing,
outlook.
right? And I love how. So forget the bad Pitt. So I wanted to see where you went at. And when
Yeah,
I don't talk about moves, I'm just doing it in a little example. So when you were at your version of a 10, right, versus the you in your mum's corridor picture hallway, what number is he? If you in 2010 to 10, what number is he?
That's a 1. Like I said,
So
I
I
genuinely
bet.
look
Okay,
I was disgusted looking at that photo.
okay. So what? Then this is what we do. When you're 1, right? You give the world, your kids, wife, family, friends, colleagues, clients. You give them one energy, shitty energy. 'Cause that's who you
Mm,
are. That's what you give, right? That's what you give out. No, that's what you give out because that's all. And you can try, you can pretend, you can fake, you can play this, but deep down, that's what you're giving out. That's level 1 dog shit energy. Now, the world is a mirror. Whatever you give out, you get back. That's fact. That is just the law of the universe. Whatever you give out shit, negative energy out, what are you going to get back? People aren't going to be nice to you if you're grumpy, if you're miserable, if you're in a bad mood all the time, if you're staring at people. If you feel uncomfortable, people aren't going to be nice. Versus you back in 2010 in your best self, happy, energetic, fun, nice to be around, confident, charming. When you give that energy out, that's what you get back, right? That's when life starts to change because you give out different energy and you get back energy. That's when life starts to change. That's right. That's what we do. And it's not really about a number on the scales. It's about you increasing that number 1, 2, 3, up 4. One of my guys, 3 out of 10. He said, I've never been a 10 out of 10. Let's get to a 10 out of 10. He wore a bang on, I think it's a Ben Sherman or a shirt suit for Christmas at his wife's Christmas party. He was a 10 out of 10. Like he was a 3 out of 10 back in the August when he joined my program to a 10. And it wasn't even a debate. Another one of my guys took his wife to go and watch an Italian opera singer in Rome for one day. They went out. He was a 10. He was a 6 when we started back in like the September. That was in January. So and when people start feeling that energy, they're just happier, nicer, better parents, have more energy with the kids, are more tolerant with their kids and their partner, right? That's when life begins to change. I believe we're the captain of our own destiny all the time. We get to choose what we do with our life, and it's a choice. It's a choice.
it
And
is, mate.
oftentimes, and you said before, like sometimes having a kick up the arse, being a diagnosis or something severe is the thing. I much rather work with people that come to me before they get to that point because there's less to undo, right? Rather
Mm,
than more. But I'm
yeah,
saying the guys who are on the bottom, normally they're great guys to work with because right now we've got no choice because I don't want to be in the ground.
exactly. That's it. There's
Yeah.
no
So
choice then, is there? They've got to do it. They've got to do it.
mm,
Look, Anthony, I've taken up a lot of your time, mate, so I think we'll start to round it up. But yeah, honestly, really appreciate it. There's so much we could have spoke about. Yeah, I really appreciate the time you've taken today, yeah, and it's a great episode. It's been a great chat. We will put a link to your website and your coaching
awesome.
courses on the show notes
Yeah, I think
and the socials.
it's just the best is just my Instagram at Anthony Ogogo, at ANTHONY OGOGO. Reach out to me there. I'm in my DMs all day long, so you get straight to me and we'll have a little chat. And at Anthony Ogogo is probably the best way to reach out on Instagram.
Awesome. No, we'll share that all out on the podcast and everything. So yeah, thank you very much. We really appreciate your time, Anthony. And one last thing to say, on the ball, City.
Hey, on the ball city. Cheers, mate. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me, buddy. All the best.
Thank you, mate.